Dow may be down 600 points today, but solar stocks have jumped this past week, led by First Solar on hopes it could be a renewable provider for the massive energy demand that AI is going to need in the future. Meanwhile, a new 2,000-acre solar panel farm funded by the Inflation Reduction Act is being developed outside Phoenix, Arizona. It will have the capacity to power thousands of homes, but a majority of it will be used to power Meta's data center needs. Pippa Stevens is live from the solar field with more on that story. It's hot and sunny, and that's good for the business.
Yeah, that's right, Dom. So I'm at renewable energy developer Ørsted's new solar and storage plant that's finishing up construction. All told, it can power 65,000 homes, but 2/3 of the power will be for a new Meta data center being built close by. Gen AI is power hungry, with BCG forecasting that U.S. demand from data centers will triple by the end of the decade, just as more things go electric.
This is the most load growth we've seen in the past 30 years. A lot of that's driven by reshoring of American manufacture. We're seeing that from semiconductors, from battery companies, but we're also seeing, a lot more digitalization coming on board, big tech, AI, all needing more energy.
New renewable energy sites like this one, 11 Mile Solar, are moving to fill the gap. Ørsted announced today a $680 million investment from J.P. Morgan for this and one other project. It's a tax equity deal, meaning J.P. Morgan provides financing in exchange for tax benefits. Now, this structure has existed for years, but what's new is that under the Inflation Reduction Act, J.P. Morgan now has the option to sell those credits to another company, unlocking a big new funding pool for renewable energy. And Dom and Kelly, I got to tell you, when you're here on the ground, it makes sense why there is a solar center here. It is very hot and there is nothing but sun.
Okay, so let's talk about the future development plans for Ørsted. I mean, what exactly does the future look like, and what kind of capital do you need? Do you need Inflation Reduction Acts in perpetuity to be able to keep funding projects like this, or at some point is it going to be able to be self-sustained from a private standpoint?
Well, renewable energy is already competitive on a levelized cost of energy basis with other forms. Also, other parts of the energy ecosystem have also been subsidized simply because it is such a capital-intensive industry. But what's really important here is that this tax credit transferability is so important because before, only really big banks would be willing to take on that equity investment. And now you can sell those to another party that wants to reduce their tax bill while also helping out clean energy. And so it opens up this whole new funding pool. And I think the reality is that these projects are expensive. And so having that support at the federal level is helpful to get these projects off the ground. But longer term, renewable energy is deflationary, since once you have it all built, the sun is a free energy source. And so that's what companies like Ørsted are banking on. They're building out, of course, their offshore portfolio with wind, as well as their onshore solar and storage portfolio, with just a ton of opportunity here, both from the domestic manufacturing and reshoring all of that, as well as great electrification. And then, of course, more recently, data centers and Gen AI.
It's fascinating. The transferability angle, J.P. Morgan or the bank's role, it's really, much to ponder in the midst of all of this change. Pippa, thank you very much. We appreciate it.